Some people might say this must be the most badly executed reality TV show that's literally come to Netflix. And you do kind of think about that in the bigger picture. As you know now, Meghan Markle is, well, looking for love, as it were, over in Canada, trying to realign herself with the terrible week that she's had ever since she put together the video thanking the pop star Billie Eilish for all that merchandise and stuff like that. You know, we've gone over that many times. The worst thing that you could possibly have done, of course, at the start of something where you just want the focus to be on the Invictus Games. But fear not, chums, nobody's allowed to ask Harry or Meghan any questions about the visa, about the video, about the line in the sand, even, of course, the forthcoming Netflix show. But here's where it gets really interesting, because what we now know about, we haven't had a wave, have we? Sorry, have a lovely wave. Nice to see you. We are in, of course, London's Underground, keeping dry. Yes, because you have to. Yeah, absolutely. Glad that you've noticed I'm looking after myself. But on a serious note, it's fascinating this, isn't it? Because this show, and I've seen elements of it now, let me tell you, chums, it's a funny do, because when you think those sort of shows, you kind of look and think, well, what are they about? Now, normally a cooking show tells you the ingredients, you can look it up, all that sort of stuff. The bits that I've seen, it's kind of like if you put in a dinner party together, or indeed you're having a brunch with friends, and Meghan shows you how to organise this. It's beautifully shot, it's well coloured, and excellently edited and filmed. There's no two ways about it. It's like one of those living colour TV ads, you know, where you think, do people really live like that? You know what I'm saying, chums? There's nothing on the kitchen. You know, there's no crumbs, there's no manky tea towel in the corner, perhaps a scrubbing pan thing that you've done in the sink. Everything is pristine. We know, of course, this isn't Meghan's house, so consequently everything looks absolutely pucker. But here's where it gets really interesting, because according to a very well-placed source, the guest list, as we know, isn't brilliant, and you know, you don't get to know too much. There's no mention of Prince Harry, or indeed featuring Prince Harry. But what they did suggest was, how about bringing Doria into the picture? Now, this made perfect sense. Now, this is from an excellent source working on the show. You see, the idea is it's all about family, friends, getting things together, that type of stuff. Now, having your mum along, perhaps to go through a recipe, a favourite recipe that you had as a child when you were growing up, and there was mum maybe cooking this for you. Could be anything, couldn't it? You know, scrambled eggs and toast, whatever you liked that was a childhood favourite, and you wanted to coin a phrase, elevate it, right? Well, apparently this was met with a very dismissive no. A very, very, very dismissive no. And as ever, we have to say, allegedly. And this left the production team stunned, because obviously there were friends that Meghan's curated, and not many from the heritage that we were all looking at last year when she went over to Nigeria and she was with her people, right? So you don't see many of those. So what was fascinating about this particular story is, why wouldn't you want your mother in that? Now, maybe, you know, Doria suddenly become camera shy. Perhaps there wasn't the budget, but she certainly wasn't camera shy on the Netflix series, was she? You get the picture. But it does appear that the idea to include absolutely 100% real life family was met with a very much no. Now, with no Harry in there, no children, just friends that she's curated from a few years back, exactly how warm and welcoming, and how shall we say this, all-encompassing could this TV series be? In 5 parts, it's going to be hard to see how what I've seen, you could stretch it out into something of a TV series that you'd want to return to again and again. It's to be said that the whole thing is beautifully filmed, beautifully shot, beautifully coloured, and at points, you know, Meghan does look like she's enjoying herself. But the whole point of the series is kind of lost, with no real sort of friends around her and no family. And of course now just some shots of, sadly, the missing Guy the Beagle. Well, that's about it. So what is it that Netflix think we're going to be tuning in for again? No merchandise, no recipes, simply more Meghan. Now, is that worth your streaming fee? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.